Scion Immortal is a unique comic republic storyline that follows the story of Alaric, an ancient immortal warrior from eastern Nigeria. To understand Scion Immortal, you have to note that it's a story that can be told either from the present or the past, and it is about the ancient race of undying warriors called the Perennials. They cannot die unless they are killed up to 9 times in a single day, so they continue to come back to life even after suffering fatal and grave injuries up to 9 times until they finally die, like a cat with 9 lives.
Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
The story of Scion Immortal is set in the Amaziye Kingdom in 550 BC, where a race of undying warriors known for their ferocity and immense strength under the leadership of their avaricious king, rampaging all over ancient eastern Nigeria, conquering all before them. This race of warriors were called the Perennials. They were led by the unstoppable leader and warrior, General Alaric. There are many factions of the Perennials, but the major and most powerful factions are led by General Alaric. They are both male and female perennial warriors, and there is a great distinction between both of them. The female perennials are called the Shodoma, and their powers come from a deity whom I suspect to be a member of the first race, called Umbari, god of bad news. The male perennials also fight quite differently from the female perennials, using brute force, skills, and weapons to overwhelm their enemies in battle. The female perennials fight by using their magic skills and supernatural powers. They rely mostly on long-range attacks and spells. The weapons of the fearsome general is also quite a powerful one as well. His perennium sword can go through 3 stages of transformation: gas, liquid, and solid. It is also said to be able to cut anything in existence, as it can only be wielded by an elite-level perennial warrior. An interesting aspect of the perennial fighting styles is that they often leverage or exchange 1 or 2 of their extra lives for more power in battle, or to pull off extremely powerful spells and abilities that would ordinarily be unable to pull off. An example of this we see is when a Shodoma named Nkechi sacrificed 2 of her 9 lives to pull off an exceptionally powerful attack called First Phase Movement Spell Black Orbs. First phase spells are high-ranking spells that take 2 of the user's lives when summoned. And also another example we see of this is when General Alaric unleashed a special hidden power that he seemed to have exchanged some of his life force for, or he seemed to be channeling a power from an unidentified god or artifact. The power he got enabled him to eliminate the perennial killer in their battle at the Black Forest. The beginning of the story, Scion Immortal, takes place in the present day, where we see Alaric rescue a couple being robbed at gunpoint. He gives a little bit of exposure about his unique character and lets us know there is more to him than meets the eye. He is quite different from our regular super-powered heroes and Alpha Sapiens in the Comic Republic universe. This is a story that is quite distinct from the rest of the universe, as there has been no crossovers from other members of the universe into this story yet, like we've seen from other storylines. Alaric is not just a superpowered and extremely skilled individual who has lived centuries, but he is also an immortal, and even among the perennials, he is often regarded as the one man who cannot die. Moving into the past, in the issue 2, we find out more about the story, and we are introduced to more characters. We see an Odogwu hired by a merchant company to protect their goods, attacked by a mysterious humanoid figure. Later on, we see a perennial ruling chief of the Amaziye Kingdom attacked in his home by 3 unidentified warriors. He seemed to have been bested and they wanted something in his possession. Safe to say it was not a very safe time to be in the kingdom. We then cut to our favorite general Alaric in the Black Forest on the outskirts of Amaziye, on the orders of the king to investigate the various attacks that have been reported by merchants. He was present on the scene following the tracks of the perpetrators with his team of perennial warriors before they were ambushed in the woods, resulting in a battle that was easily won by the general and his men. It was later revealed that the ambush was laid by Nkechi, a Shodoma, the humanoid perennial killer called Oganigwe, and another masked individual, to gauge the height of the general's ability and to see him in actual combat. In the issue 3 of Scion Immortal, we see General Alaric finally caught up to the perpetrators of the ambush, and there he is, confronted by the Shodoma, who sets the perennial killer against him. She then proceeds to fight against the rest of his men, unleashing first phase spells and overwhelming most of his men, even going further to attack the general himself, all to the uttermost surprise of Ifeoma, the Shodoma in the company of Alaric. Ifeoma also countered by unleashing a first phase defensive spell, but the attack wasn't directed at her, but the Alaric's men, whose souls were later sacrificed by Nkechi to receive more power from Umbari, the god of bad news. So a peek into the motivations of Nkechi, as we found out she was formerly an ally of the general's, but betrayed him after he led both her son and her husband into battle, where they both lost their lives. In the issue 4 of the story, we see General Alaric healing from his wounds sustained on the previous issue, continue his battle with the perennial killer and was constantly being overwhelmed. Nkechi continued going stronger due to the souls she had sacrificed, strong enough to use the bodies of the fallen perennials to aid her in combat with a forbidden spell. After Oganigwe had killed General Alaric a total of 3 times, it went further to one of his men, Ekene, also killing him the 9th time and for good, causing the general to unleash a mysterious hidden power, with which he easily took off Oganigwe's head in a single blow, much to the surprise of everyone on the battlefield. He then turned his attention to the masked individual, who seemed to be the mastermind behind the whole altercation, but he didn't seem interested in a fight. Easily countering the general's attack, he made his escape with the Shodoma Nkechi in his arms. The identity of the masked individual has not been revealed yet, but I have a feeling it will play a major role in the storyline when more issues are released. There are a lot of questions that are yet to be answered, and I'm sure they will be provided as more issues drop. But overall, Scion Immortal is a really interesting read, and I can't wait for more issues to be released.